Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so today we're diving straight into the optimal sequence for wealth. Think about building your absolute dream house, right? You wouldn't kick things off by, picking out fancy granite countertops or imported light fixtures if your foundation was totally cracked and the roof was leaking. That'd be crazy. Yet, that's exactly what so many of us do with our finances. We kind of just want to skip right to the flashy stuff without laying the actual groundwork. So today, we're going to look at the mathematically optimal sequence for investing your money. We're doing the boring structural work first so you can build a towering, totally solid financial fortress.
So, here's our game plan for today. We'll start by tackling the wealth building illusion. Then we'll move into securing your financial foundation and look at the one free money exception to the rules. After that, we'll dive into maximizing those tax-advantaged accounts, unveiling the ultimate HSA secret weapon, and finally, deploying the final wealth multiplier.
All right, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the wealth building illusion, or skipping to the fun stuff. It is honestly so frustrating to see people treating the stock market like a giant slot machine. They're throwing money at whatever sounds exciting, crypto, trendy ETFs, while completely ignoring the massive financial holes in their buckets. It's the ultimate contradiction. On one hand, you've got the thrill of buying the next hot stock, but on the other hand, you have the harsh reality of carrying high-interest debt, like a credit card that's charging, 22% interest? It's literally sitting right there laughing at you. The reality here is that if you're carrying that kind of high-interest debt, it is mathematically destroying any investment gains you might make. The debt just grows way faster than almost any investment you could reasonably expect. And, it actually gets a bit scarier. The median amount Americans have saved for emergencies right now is just $500. Honestly, that's down from $600 just a year ago. $500. That's less than most people's monthly car payment. Taking huge market risks when you've only got $500 in the bank, it's kind of like trying to buy a Ferrari when you don't even have enough cash to fix the transmission on your current daily driver. It just doesn't make sense.
Which brings us to Section 2, securing your financial foundation, concrete and safety.
This step is all about pouring that concrete and prioritizing safety so you don't have to panic sell investments at a loss just because life throws you a curveball. Now, the traditional advice of saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses is, it's so broad it can feel completely overwhelming. So we've got to break this down into manageable chunks to pour that foundation fast. Step 1, save your very first $1,000 as fast as humanly possible just to cover minor emergencies. Step 2, build that up to 1 full month of living expenses. And step 3, keep building until you hit 3 months. Getting this done creates a massive psychological safety net. And that's the crucial point here. This isn't just about the math, it's about your mental state. Recent research from Vanguard actually found that people with at least $2,000 in emergency savings had financial well-being scores that were 21% higher than those without an emergency fund. 21%. That was the largest boost linked to literally any financial factor they measured. So sure, $2,000 might not be, retire tomorrow kind of life-changing money, but the psychological impact of having that buffer, it is absolutely enormous. Okay, so once that safety net is in place, you have got to eliminate high-interest debt. We're talking anything over 8%. Carrying credit card debt while trying to invest is basically like running a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. The cure for this? The debt avalanche method. You pay the minimums on everything, and then you throw every single extra dollar at the debt with the highest interest rate. I know some people love the snowball method for those quick psychological wins, but the avalanche method is the most efficient mathematical way to save the absolute most money, hands down. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why this is a true financial emergency. Let's say you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest, right? If you make only the minimum payments, you're going to pay nearly $2,800 in interest over 5 years. That is your own money working against you. So every dollar you use to pay down that debt is essentially earning you a guaranteed 22% return. Think about that, a guaranteed 22% return. That beats even Warren Buffett's long-term average in the stock market, no question. Moving on to Section 3, the free money exception, the golden rule breaker. Now, there is one massive golden exception to the rule of paying off all your debt before investing. If your employer offers a matching contribution to your retirement plan, you need to grab it, period. An employer match is basically like finding money on the ground that your boss promises to double if you just pick it up. Let's compare. Paying off that credit card gets you a 22% return, which is great. The stock market averages around 7 to 10%, but an employer match, that is a 50% to 100% immediate guaranteed return. Mathematically, it completely blows paying off even the worst credit card debt right out of the water. Quick warning here though, actually it's more like a pro tip. Always check your company's vesting schedule. That schedule dictates how long you actually need to stay at the company to keep those matching funds. But generally speaking, you want to contribute just enough to get that full match, secure the free money, and then immediately, and I mean immediately, redirect all your other extra funds right back to that debt avalanche we just talked about. All right, Section 4, maximizing tax-advantaged accounts. We are entering the optimization zone. Okay, so now that the foundation is poured and that high-interest debt is completely gone, we enter the optimization zone. We are officially in wealth-building mode. But listen, do not get distracted by shiny taxable brokerage accounts just yet. We need to lock down tax optimization first. Here's a really fascinating rule of thumb. Once you get your employer match, you actually want to pivot away from your 401k and open an individual retirement account, or IRA. Why? Well, corporate 401k plans are kind of notorious for offering super limited menus of expensive mutual funds. Those 1 to 2% management fees will eat into your returns over the decades, like termites in a wooden house. An IRA just gives you far more control to invest in low-cost index funds and ETFs that charge just a few basis points, which can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars over time. Now, when you're opening these accounts, you're going to face the great debate, traditional versus Roth. And honestly, it really boils down to one simple question. Do you want to pay taxes now, or do you want to pay them later? A traditional account lets you deduct contributions from your current taxable income today, but then you pay taxes when you withdraw the money in retirement. A Roth, on the other hand, makes you pay the taxes up front, but then all your withdrawals in retirement are completely tax-free. As a general rule, young earners in lower tax brackets should probably lean Roth, since their tax brackets are likely only going to go up, whereas high earners at their peak earning years, they might really want that traditional tax deduction right now. Next up, Section 5, the ultimate HSA secret weapon, the Swiss Army knife. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is, well, if you qualify for this next account, you have basically hit the jackpot. The Health Savings Account, or HSA, is arguably the most underutilized investment vehicle in America right now. It is the absolute Swiss Army knife of financial accounts because of its triple tax benefits. Seriously, check this out. You get a tax deduction when you contribute, the money grows tax-free while it's invested, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are also completely tax-free. It's the only account that gives you a break on the way in, during the middle, and on the way out. The absolute ultimate strategy here, if you can afford it, pay your current medical expenses out of pocket, leave the money invested in the HSA, and literally just save those medical receipts for decades. Because if you do that, the math is absolutely stunning. If you max out an HSA for 30 years and achieve, say, a 7% annual return, you could have over $400,000 in completely tax-free money sitting there. And why does this matter so much? Because the average couple retiring today is projected to spend over $300,000 on healthcare throughout their retirement. So an HSA acts as this incredible secret weapon that can essentially make those massive costs completely disappear from your retirement budget. It's huge. Finally, Section 6, the final wealth multiplier, 401k and taxable accounts. So if you've made it to this step, congratulations, you are already in the top 5% of savers in America. Most people honestly never get past those first few steps. Now, we finally return to max out the remaining 401k limits beyond just the employer match. And just look at the scale of what you're doing at this point. By combining the 2025 contribution limits of an IRA, an HSA, and a 401k, you are potentially sheltering over $35,000 annually from current taxation. And if you're 50 or older and can make catch-up contributions, it's even more than that. That is serious, serious money, compounding completely uninterrupted without the IRS taking their cut every single year. But why is sheltering it so important, right? It's because of the hidden danger of jumping to taxable accounts too early. Tax drag. In a normal taxable account, every dividend is taxed. Every time you sell for a gain, the IRS wants a cut. It's like trying to run a marathon while someone keeps throwing handfuls of sand into your shoes. To put that into perspective, if you invest $10,000 annually for 30 years at a 7% return, a tax-advantaged account yields about $944,000. That exact same return in a taxable account, it leaves you with closer to just $700,000. That is nearly $250,000 lost, just to tax drag, just gone. But hey, once you've truly maximized every single tax advantage space available to you, then taxable accounts become incredibly valuable. They offer complete flexibility. They provide excellent bridge funding if, say, you want to retire early before you can legally touch your 401k without penalties. They're amazing for house down payments. And if you're planning a legacy, taxable accounts actually get a step up in basis when you die, which can completely eliminate capital gains taxes for your heirs entirely. They are the ultimate capstone to your wealth sequence. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really have to ask you, are you building your wealth on quicksand? It is so incredibly easy to get distracted. We all want to pick the next hot stock or crypto trend, right? But the math doesn't lie. Build your emergency fund, crush that high interest debt, grab every penny of your employer match, and optimize your tax advantaged accounts first. Stop skipping to the fun stuff.